First of all, our agenda today, certainly we want to cover the purpose of exit interviews. It's been debated and discussed over many years, different organizations taking different approaches through the course of time and for different reasons. So we need to talk about that a little bit. We're going to go through some of the tactics and various techniques that are used, a method in particular, focus on, and of course, getting the most out of the interview itself. You know, what is the purpose, and is the investment worth the all of the effort there? And then we want to talk a little bit about how that data is getting used. And of course, the whole reason that we're talking about this is it's going to result in taking some action, making some changes, impacting your organization in a positive way. And sometimes it's dealing with negative perceptions and negative reasons that perhaps people are leaving, but that still is something that we want to take care of from a action standpoint. So to begin with, the whole purpose is about listening to your employees, and it's for the benefit of the company, of course, certainly for the benefit of employees, and not just the ones that are leaving, but also the ones that are staying. But certainly it's for your global environment in your organization. When you think about company, there's also the environment in there in which you recruit, the community you're in, the area that you're in, and of course your clients or your other businesses that you serve. It needs to be thought of in light of the value that it can add to these four different categories of impact that you can have. But we need to know first, what kind of a culture you have, and that will impact greatly your ability to deliver on exit interviews. Does this define your organization? Next question, do you want it to? And you start with a culture of listening. And this begins with defining the job from the people who do the work. And I always will start these kind of webinars with, okay, what is the status of your job and your job description? Are they accurate? Do your employees look at them during their performance reviews, their performance updates, the process? Are managers changing them as technology and tools and roles and responsibilities evolve? Because that is some of the feedback that you're going to get if you're doing exit interviews. And so it also works its way into the recruitment process and onboarding, because what you learn out of these experiences is what went well and what didn't go so well, or opportunities for change. And hopefully that cycles all the way back into how you're hiring, recruiting, and finding the best people. As you see on this slide, there are 7 bullets, and it talks about that listening culture that's composed of not just your satisfaction and engagement surveys, but if you're doing retention interviews, whole nother webinar, the development process that you have, your performance appraisals and management, goal setting processes, coaches and mentoring. And for some organizations, there aren't 7, there's 4, because they've combined certain of those. Don't get hung up there. Exit interviews is just another one of those components that helps you triangulate the data, the information that you're collecting, and gives it that extra, reliability, if you will, if this were being done at a high level of statistical analysis, but the reliability of the information that you're then presenting within the organization, within your department, up to leadership, to your board perhaps, for the changes and the support that you need as you seek to get support. And sometimes that means finances. So as having been in in human resources for 30 plus years at senior levels throughout that time, and had operational responsibilities for other departments and areas, I know the challenge that you get into during budgets over who's going to get the budget increase, who's got zero-based budgeting, and you basically start over every year, who's being expected to take a reduction and still perform at a high level and even add services. So doing these exit interviews sometimes is a resource consumption area that gets challenged over its effectiveness. So you've got to be able to make the case that these are the changes that come about, the need for it as you go forward here.